from FlossTube. This is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Tuesday, September 22nd. It is almost 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm coming to you right now with a little bit of a realization as I'm sitting here starting to edit the video that I recorded for you earlier tonight. That this is episode 100. Yay! It's episode 100, you guys. It's been a long haul. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad for my subscribers. If you're new to my channel, I hope you enjoy the content that you'll see here. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for watching. I hope you've gotten some good information out of my videos. And if you're a subscriber, thank you very much for supporting me over the last 100 or 99 FlossTube videos that I have uploaded here to YouTube for you. I've really enjoyed the journey so far. I'm looking forward to more exciting things to come, and hopefully my subscribers will continue to increase the more people find out about me. And yeah. Thank you for being here for my 100th episode. I hope you enjoy it. I talk a little fast in this one, but hopefully, you'll get something out of it. So, that being said, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy my 100th video, my 100th FlossTube video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hello FlossTube, this is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Tuesday, September 22nd at approximately 8:49 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm coming to you today with a little bit of an update. Since I really didn't film anything or get anything uploaded this past weekend, I have a little bit of an update for you from this last week. So, hold on just a minute. So hi again, sorry about that. I just needed to grab my my little book of notes here. So yeah, I just wanted to come to you today with a bit of an update for some Stitchy progress that I have this week, and a little bit of a haul as well. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk about haul. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going for you. All right. So, those of you that have watched my videos recently know that I was hitting up, this is my little mesh project bag that I was gifted by StitchLife Magazine. I talked about StitchLife Magazine on my last video and how they sent me this nice little Patreon monthly gift for being a Patreon subscriber of theirs for $8 a month. So this was part of my monthly, or my Patreon monthly gift, and I put my pumpkin swirl project in here. So I would really like to get more of these bags. You can actually find these bags. These are A4 mesh bags on Amazon, and I will put the link, the Amazon link to the ones I have found that I have on my wish list now for the same bag. So let me go ahead and write down Amazon list bags. But anyway, so this is the pumpkin swirl that I have by Glendon Place. As you know, I was kitting it up for starting, and I am kind of thinking, I got the Dinky Dyes floss this week. So you guys know that I already had red dust, the Dinky Dyes red dust. And I actually did pick up, they did have 2 more on order for me to complete the pack. So I did get my Dinky Dyes floss. So the ones that came in was Dinky Dyes Desert Sands, which is this variegated, really pretty variegated one. Then this is Jindalee, which is this really pretty bright orange. It's a bright orange. This one is natural. This is just the cream. I already had this on hand. I think you use this mainly to add the beads to the piece. Then this one is Nutwood. This is kind of a reddish brown. It's really pretty. Then this one is peach. And then of course we're back at red dust. So initially I put the other fabric that I had furred away. I was going to use the called for fabric. It's Picture This Plus in sand. And I was kind of going through my stash, and I think I'm going to do it on Murmur by Picture This Plus. So this is the fabric that I've chosen for this piece. This Murmur is kind of it's got a little bit of a peach tone. I don't know that you'll be able to pick that up on here. You might be able to pick it up a little bit. Maybe. It's got a little bit of a peach tone to it. So like if you pick out some of these Dinky Dyes colors and put them up against it, I'll pick a couple of these out. These Dinky Dyes colors go really well on this fabric, and this piece of fabric is a little more warm than the sand color, and I think the sand or the fall colors in this pick out a little better on this piece than they do for the oh, come on. Okay. So I picked out one of each of the Dinky Dyes colors that are in this, so you can see. So here are the Dinky Dyes colors for this piece. These are the called for. So these are all the called for. Really pretty fall colors. And then here is the piece of fabric. This is Murmur by Picture This Plus, and they really go well. This isn't doing it nearly the right amount of justice. That's just washing it out. But yeah, it really makes the floss warm, and it's really kind of a warm fall piece. I'm really going to be happy with it on here. So this is going to be my selection. So this is Picture This Plus Murmur. This is a 28 count piece of Lugana that I got in my Fabric of the Month shipments last year, because in 2019 I was in the Fabric of the Month for Crazy Annie Stitching, and I didn't make it to the Fabric of the Month this month. So here I'm looking forward to stitching on the silks with this, but I have changed my fabric choice to Murmur by Picture This Plus. So this will hope. Hey, how was your nap?
It was okay.
I'm sorry that you didn't have a good nap.
It happened.
Yay. So sorry about that. Apparently I thought I had paused, but I didn't really pause. Anyway, so we have Blend and Place Pumpkin Swirl. And I do have, I think I'm missing 1 or 2 packs of the pearl beads, and that's it. But I do have all the beads for this as well. Yeah, I think I'm only missing 1 pack of the pearl beads, and I may actually have some in my stash enough, but I don't need the beads for quite a while because I usually put the beads on last when I'm doing these. So anyway, this is my Blend in Place Pumpkin Swirl that I'm doing on 28 count Lugana Murmur from Picture This Plus, and it's in my StitchLife project bag. So, yeah. Alright, so one of the new SALs that's actually coming up on, is it Sunday or Saturday? It is coming up on Sunday. There is a new stitch along happening starting Sunday, and I'm not sure where my floss is for that. It's called the Countdown to Christmas Stitch Along. I will put the information to it down below, but the first part releases this coming Sunday. And I picked up 2 of the other Etoile colors for DMC that I needed for the Countdown to Christmas Stitch Along. And I was going to show you them, but they have went missing. Are they over here? Yes, here they are. So I got C600, and this one is a very bright gold. This is C444. So these are 2 more Etoile colors that I needed for the Countdown to Christmas Stitch Along. Other than that, that's all my, well, no, that's not it. I also picked up a new 17 by 17 Q-snap because I realized that I kind of needed another Q-snap or another way to make a bigger Q-snap. So what I'm probably going to do is break down one of my 11 by 11s or 8 by 8s Q-snaps that I have projects on already, and kind of swap a couple of pieces out and make like an 11 by 17 or an 8 by 17 Q-snap for stitching, because I don't think I think, well, I might be able to pull out the short pieces on this and kind of make them bigger. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I did get a new Q-snap, 17 by 17 Q-snap. So that is all the haul that I have for this week. Okay. And then we're going to get into WIP progress. So I was talking last week about all the different challenge groups and stuff that I'm in. And I didn't do a whole lot of stitching for many of the challenge groups, except for the new one that's called Crystal Academy. I will put the Facebook information is down below for all the different Facebook challenge groups that I know of, or stitch along groups, or just stitchy groups in general. But the one that I stitched for this week was the Crystal Academy. And frankly, my stitchy bug has been a little lacking this week. I had a kind of a very bad week. Just mentally and emotionally, I just kind of wasn't feeling a whole lot. And Friday was super bad for me. I mean, I found out my sister in Arkansas was in a car accident. A friend of mine, really good friend of mine from church, was also in a car accident Thursday. My sister-in-law was my sister was in a car accident in Arkansas, and it was just a bad week to hear about stuff. I kind of wanted to wrap myself in bubble wrap and not get behind the wheel of a car. It was kind of a bad week, but I did get some progress. So for the Crystal Academy, we had a couple of different prompts that we had to. We're doing the Technomancy class, and we had 2 spells that we were working on this week. We were working on Ignitica and Oblitus or Oblitus. We had to do 300 stitches each on at least 1 task minimum for each of the spells. Each spell had 3 tasks, and I ended up stitching 2 tasks for Ignitica and 1 task for Oblitus through last night. And the second class actually started Monday, so the classes kind of overlap a little bit. So the second class started Monday, and that was for practical enchantments. So we now have 2 other spells that we have to do 3 tasks on each. So the spells for this new class, practical enchantments, is Captive Foam, and I didn't write that one down. I didn't write that other one down. So we have 6 new tasks that we have to focus on the next 2 weeks. The 2 spells from last week, Ignitica and Oblitus, that the stitching for that comes due this weekend, this coming weekend. So that's kind of what I'm working on. So basically what I did, I didn't bring Bewitching Owl down here to show you, but I did get 300 more stitches done on the Bewitching Owl. That is that magazine, just Cross Stitch, I think, no, Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine piece that I'm doing with the owl and the moon behind it. I did 300 more stitches in the moon for one of the prompts for Ignitica. We needed to stitch on something that can be cooked, and because it has pumpkins on it, you can cook the pumpkins. Well, technically, you could cook the owl too, but ew, who wants to eat owl? Owls are nice. I like owls. But anyway, so then for Ignitica, the second one I worked on was Something with Flames. Now, it could kind of be implied, but you also know that I've been stitching Thomas Kincaid's Stonehearth Hutch from the Just Cross Stitch magazine. This is December 1998. I think I might have told you this was a different issue at one point, but this is the December 98 of Just Cross Stitch, and I am stitching on the Stonehearth Hutch, and the flames, you know, you can see the smoke coming out of the chimneys. There are flames in the chimney, and also I also put that the lamppost outside has a candle burning in it, so it's got a flame. So that is, I did 300 stitches on that prompt, and then for Oblitus, I also used this piece for the prompt that says something that would emit shards or shrapnel if it exploded. Well, this house is made of stone, Stonehearth Hutch, and it's got windows in it. Well, the windows and the stone would create pretty bad shards and shrapnel if the house ever exploded. So I used this piece for that as well. So I did 600 stitches. I did just over 600 stitches. I did 304 for the second one, and like 312 or some amount thereof for the first piece. So where I had started, so you'll see some progress on here. So where I had started on here was I'd worked on this gray area here. This was the first set of like 300, just over 300 stitches. I did the gray down here, and then to make it easier on me, I went ahead and stitched the light pole, the lamp post with the wreath on it, and the gray stitches that are around there. That was my second set of 300 stitches. So there's a little over 600 stitches in this gray area here, and also here. I was originally thinking that I was going to work on the sky up here, but to me it was easier to take a progress picture of this area down here. And the lamppost really helped me out with that a lot. So that is just the stitching that I got, and that was the only progress I made on stitching besides stitching on the Bewitching Owl this week was on Stonehearth Hutch. So this is also for WIPGO, so I have just over 600 stitches for WIPGO for this month. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put this into any of the other prompts this week. If I do, I have to stitch 300 stitches on it, which would push me in the 900s, and it would get me really close to a WIPGO board fill-in, box fill-in, because then I'll only have I'll have less than 100 stitches to stitch for a WIPGO cover. But yeah, so this is my Stonehearth Hutch. I'm getting the gray area down here. The one thing I'm kind of getting back into reading this pattern. This pattern is kind of really, really annoying. So I'm going to show you the symbols on this. So I'll show you the page that has the legend on it. And I'll show you kind of why this pattern is kind of written annoyingly. Let me go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and go ahead and do this. Okay. All right. So here is a photocopy of the legend from the magazine. I went ahead, you're not going to be able to see much, but you can see here, I have made a couple of lines in the symbols right here. So if you look really close, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on here or not. This first section here, this little section right here, there is a little itty bitty symbol at the end of the color name. You see that itty bitty symbol at the end of the color name? That means something. That section here corresponds to this first little bit right down here. It says work half cross stitch using 1 strand 3024 on top of full cross stitch when that symbol appears. Okay? So you have all these stitchy colors right here that take a half cross stitch of 3024 on top of them. Okay? So there's that little bit. The problem is there's stitching for 3024 and whatever color you're using all the way around that. So say you have to cover up 932 with half cross stitch. You might have 15 stitches of 932 by itself, 4 stitches of 932 that you have to cover up with a half cross stitch of 3024, and 15 more stitches of 932 by itself. So you have to go back in and figure out where all those stitches are that you have to cover up, because you're not covering up everything in that color. Because, yeah, it's crazy. So then you get down to this little bit right here, this section right here, in between these two lines. Those ones you have to do a half cross stitch using 032 blending filament on top of those colors. Half cross stitch. Then you get down to these down here below, these last 4, you have to do a full cross stitch of 032 blending filament on top of the cross stitch of that color. So, yeah, the problem that I'm having, so, all right, so I'll show you on here. So you see this blue and this gray solid area right here? Some of those stitches, some of these blue stitches right here, I have to cover up with a half cross stitch of this gray color, or a half cross stitch of 032 blending filament to add the sparkle, because it's Thomas Kincaid. Some of these gray stitches here, I have to cover with a half cross stitch of 032 blending filament. So following this pattern is kind of annoying. I kind of wish they would have just did it some other way because this pattern's really annoying. And now I kind of remember why I put it away and why I haven't worked on it all that much. I started this more than 10 years ago, probably 2000. It's probably been 20 years. And the reason why I haven't gotten very far on it is simply because of all the goofy little things. So the interesting thing is right here by this lamppost. This is where the house is. So I've actually started stitching some of the stone in the house. And I don't think much of the stone in the house has any of the blending filament in it. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is kind of work on the house. And then when I get ready to kind of figure out what chunks of color I have down in the snow and in the background and the sky, because the sky's the same way. You have peaches and stuff that have blending filament mixed in. So you can kind of see here, like there isn't a whole lot of blending filament down there, but there's some blending filament in the blue, but not all of it. So yeah, blending filament isn't as hard to work with as the Kreinik metallics, but it is kind of a pain. And yeah, so this piece is going to take me a little bit of time. Not exactly thrilled with the way they charted this. I think it could have been done a little better. Of course I don't know how. I'm not a designer, so but yeah, it's just confusing as all heck when you're stitching. So anyway, so that's where I got on Stonehearth Hutch, and that's all the stitching progress I really made this week. So that being said, don't have a whole lot else going on for you. Some of my plans this week. So in Crystal Academy, we have the 2 new spells with 6 projects that we have to do. We have to do something with a rope. So I'm probably going to do Skeleton Crew if I stitch with that. A whip with parked threads that can tangle. I have a couple of whips that I've parked threads on. So I have a lot to choose from there. And then they also put 1,200 knit or crochet stitches for task C, the 3rd task for that spell. I think somebody had posted that we can also do diamond painting. I don't want to knit or crochet right now. It's just not something that I want to do and I want to pick up just yet for this year. But I'll probably see if I can, if we need coverage in that spell, I'll probably see if I can do diamond painting, but I'd have to find out if how many drills I'd have to place for that, because I don't know. And then for the second spell, we have to do an object that can be closed. So probably something with a door, or if it's a business, say like Midnight Way by the Frosted Pumpkin, has three little small businesses that can be closed. I might work on that. And then a whip that starts with any one letter from the word password. So we have to pick a letter from PASSWORD, and as long as the whip name starts with one of those letters, we can go for it. I have quite a few, like Pumpkin Swirl, Amid Amish Life, Stonehearth Hutch, you know, stuff like that. Words to Live By. There's all kinds of things that can do that. And then the third one, I'm not sure I have anything that would fit it, or if I can imply that you need to use that it has a key or a keyhole. I don't know if the key or keyhole has to be visible for this last task, but we have to stitch on something that has a key or keyhole. So that's what's going on with Crystal Academy this week. Enchanted stitching challenges. This is week 4 for the movie Inside Out. We have to stitch on something else Riley could use to run away. So, you know, she could run away on a boat, she can run away on a plane, she can run away on a horse, whatever. You have to stitch on a piece that has caused you to sacrifice something. Stitch on something that relates to what you would miss if you left home. And work on a piece with an element you went crazy for. So, like, you know, if it uses, you know, overdyed flosses and you really wanted those colors, you know, color of overdyed floss that it used, or type of fabric, or it has a motif in the sampler that you really, really love. Like, say I love bunnies really much and it's got bunnies all over, that kind of thing. So that is Enchanted Stitching Challenges. Depending on how many you stitch, you can choose 50 stitches or 30 minutes for the noble, 100 stitches or 1 hour for the knight, or 250 stitches or 2 hours for the royal. Royal gets you 5 points, knight gets you 2 points, noble gets you 1 point. So that's the stitching challenges for the Enchanted Stitching Challenges group. This week we're on week 4 of Kingdom Keepers Book 5 Shell Game. This week is Darkness. So we have to stitch 300 stitches on something that nourishes your soul. 300 stitches on a project with the number 8, 1, or 6 in it. 100 stitches on a project with bread in it, and it can't be like cupcakes or dough or anything like that. It actually has to be bread. And 300 stitches, or that's 100 stitches on the project with bread, or 300 stitches in a color you relate to darkness. So we have 4 prompts this week for the School of Magical Stitches. And then in, where is it? So Myth and Magic Stitch Wars, we are still stitching for shiny pebbles to gift. Because I'm just a villager, I'd be stitching shiny pebbles. So I have to stitch 175 stitches to earn shiny pebbles. This week in Mythological Stitchers Challenges, September 21st to the 27th, it's Patasola, P-A-T-A-S-O-L-A. We have to stitch 500 stitches or 5 hours on a piece that takes you away from other activities you should be doing instead. So I can work, say, 5 hours in diamond painting if I want to, because it'll be taking me away from stitching or housework or cooking or errands or shopping or whatever. All right. And I think that kind of wraps it up. So in the magazine monthly challenges, we are still doing September, autumn, and fall. That's the theme for this month. I haven't really worked on my leaves acrostic for the group. It's Leaves. I haven't worked on my leaves acrostic. My goal for the Bewitching Owl was to finish the owl or the moon for the month. I might be able to finish the moon on the piece this week, if I choose it for one of the pieces. But I don't know if it's gonna finish. I don't know if it's gonna work for any of the prompts. Because I don't see it really relating to anything in Crystal Academy. Threads that can tangle. Has caused you to sacrifice something, run away, relates to would miss if you left home, work on a piece, an element you went crazy for. No. Well, I might be able to work on it for the Enchanted Stitching Challenges, but yeah, my goal for that, for the Magazine Monthly Challenge, was to finish either the moon or the owl. The end of the month is coming up early next week. Actually, it's next Wednesday, so I have until next Wednesday to get that done, and I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it with the prompts this week. My Stitchy bug has kind of been there, but not really, so I'm kind of fighting with that and fighting to get stuff done. There's a lot of people in my dorm for Crystal Academy. I'm a lamprey, which is like some sort of vampire fishy eel thing. And there's a lot of faster stitchers that are actually getting a lot of these prompts done faster than I can stitch, or that I'm willing to stitch right now. So I feel bad that I haven't been able to contribute a whole lot to my dorm's points. But, working and just everything going on, it's just crazy. So anyway, that's all I have for this week. So I'm going to hopefully work on some School of Magical Stitches, some Crystal Academy. I might do Enchanted stitching this week. I don't know if I'll get to Myth and Magic Stitch Wars, stitching 175 for a couple of shiny pebbles. And I don't know if I'll get to the Mythological Stitchers challenge for Patasola this week. Yeah, I just don't know. Well, that about does it for me this week. Hopefully I'll have a video for you this coming weekend. Our association, my residents association here in the little area of town that my husband and my mom and I live in, we're having a huge community yard sale on Saturday. So there's like probably about 30 different houses, 30 or 40 different houses in our little area here, several different streets, that are having yard sales on Saturday from 9 to 3. And there's a food truck and some other stuff going on. So I'm actually hoping to go around and see if I can find anybody selling some craft supplies, because it would be really cool if I could find somebody that is getting rid of some of their stitching stash. I would love that. So my hope is to go to yard sales this weekend and see if I can find any stitchy stuff to bring home. So that being said, that's all I have for you this week. Hopefully you're staying safe, you're staying healthy. If you're driving a car, be careful. Watch out for the people driving crazy around you, because there's plenty of them out there. And if you go out, please be sure to wear your mask, because masks don't necessarily keep you healthy from the coronavirus, but it can severely reduce your chance of getting it from somebody else. All right, so that's all I have for you this week. Until my next video, keep on keeping on, because that's all we can do, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.